Hi guys, Shaun from Optics. So today we're going to be looking at the big boy precision rifle scopes. This is first focal plane variation. These scopes are all between 35 to 40 times magnification, and these are really your top performers in this division. There's a few that have left out just because we haven't got them in stock. They include the ZCO 8 to 40, Night Force Attacker 7 to 35, Tangent Theta, the Carles 5 to 40, and potentially one or two more. But this on the table is a really good selection that we have available, and we've got everything really that people are looking for that extreme long range precision and getting the top quality glass that you need for shooting at those extreme distances. So without any particular order, I'm going to start on the European made Schmidt and Bender 6 to 36 by 56. So this is their latest incarnation of sort of the 525. 525 have been around for years, tried, tested, used by military, police all over the world. The 6 to 36 comes in their new high performance range, and this is a lot better in terms of glass than the 525s. 525s are superb. Everyone who looked through one was always really impressed. They had that slight tunneling effect on the low 5 times mag, and that sort of disappeared at 7, and that was something that was just never really removed. They have removed it now, but now the 6 to 36 is out. The actual price difference between the two is very small, so we always recommend, and what we're actively stocking is the 6 to 36s. They come in a wide range of choices, and the choices come down to the turret configuration. So what we have here is probably my common choice for stocking, just because it suits most people. They do a DT27, which is 27 mils of elevation adjustment, or they do a DT35. We tend to stock the 35 just because the price difference is so small, you might as well gain that extra elevation adjustment. So that means there's 35 mils on the turret. It's a low profile turret. They have the DT2 Plus, they have the DT2, the difference between the Plus and the standard DT2 for the actual indication of the point of adjustment, or the second rotation, sorry. You have a window instead of a tactile indicator. On this one, which is a standard double turn 35 turret, I've unlocked it here, which is simply pull up and push down. In the unlock position, it comes up onto that tactical indicator, and then we go back down and it goes flat again. So that shows you back on the first turn, and that's then indicating you're on your second turn. So nice and visual, and that's one thing Schmidt have absolutely nailed, is their turrets in terms of repeatability, and also just visually how easy they are to use. You also get in this model the multi-turn 2 Plus. So the multi-turn 2 Plus offers a 0.05 mil rag click, and you get 39.5 mils of adjustment, but you do have that finer click, so more turns. So if you're looking for really precise long range shooting, I'm talking 2 miles potentially, having that finer adjustment enables you to make those smaller clicks, especially when you are shooting out to those longer distances, they may be required. So we just run through the actual, from the ocular through to the objective. As I said, 6 to 36, it comes with a pair of Tenebracs. It's a fast focus diopter adjustment, as you would expect on all scopes like at this value. It's got a nice tactile zoom mag. It's nice and easy to adjust. You can add their power throw lever. We then move on to the 34mm main tube. The difference in the 6 to 36s to the 525s, we move forwards with the illumination coming from where it used to be situated on the rear of the tube. It's now moved to LPI, so that means illuminated parallax, and that's indicated on the saddle of the scope now. We then have the parallax itself, really smooth, easy to adjust. We have parallax adjustment down to 20 meters, which is more than enough. So that means on 36 mag, you'll be able to get a clear picture at 20 meters. If you so want to. So it means even air rifle and rimfire guys, if they really wanted to splash out 4.5 grand, they could on something of this power. and then we go right out to infinity. It's marked in different segments and nice and clear and visual. We then go on to the turret. I've spoken about that already. Like I said, this is the DT35, and then we go on to a cap windage system. And nice and easy, it's marked left and right as you would expect. And as we all know, Schmidt are made in Germany. You're getting top quality optics. I've had this out on test quite a few times now with the police and military guys that we work closely with, and they're extremely impressed with how good this Schmidt 6-36 is. We've sold a lot in this style configuration just because for people who are buying AIs, Barretts, it's a perfect combination. It's going to really suit the rifle and do exactly what you want. So that is the Schmidt. That is 4,500, and depending on the configuration of the turret, you will be spending more money or slightly less if you move down to that DT27. Put that back on the table. So we have here the Element fios. So this is again a 6-36 by 56, Japanese made. This came out probably about 2.5 years ago. It's really well made. Around 30 mils of adjustment. That's what we're tending to see in all these first focal planes. You do have MOA options, but a lot now, if they're making one configuration, they will go with the mil. So the Schmidt at the moment is only in mil. Back to the fios. So this is in mil as well. It's that 34 mil main tube, nice and easy to use magnification. It's got a power throw lever on there, so quick to adjust and really nice and smooth. Really chunky turrets. That's what we're seeing a lot these days, is turrets that we can visually see without having to have to move out that shooting position. And the nice thing with the fios, it has a really clever rotation indicator, which is just located down here. And we've got some really nice clicks. That's one thing that all these scopes have. Even the Arken was just thrown in there just to show how good that level of optic can be at even under 700 pounds. Is sort of a 35 mag that I wanted to put in the mix. But this 6-36, and like all the rest of them, have got really good clicks. You can expect all of these to track. There's no issues there. They're going to be as good as you get, really. And optically, this fios is brilliant. Japanese made. And again, if you want to see some precision tests done, there is a lot of videos on YouTube where people are like really diving into the optics and the resolution and the clarity and started to look at resolution charts. Some of these aren't mentioned, but there's a really good review by Area 419 who do a big boy showdown, and that talks about some of the biggest choices out there in America in this sort of magnification range, and shows them out in the field for over an hour, I think the review is. So it's pretty in depth, but it's probably one of the best reviews I've seen. So if you want to see, I think the Vortex is in there. Even the Arken is in there, but it's classed as their D&T model, and they've got the Carles and some Nightfall's attackers and the Tangent Theta. So it's a good review to look at. But back to it, the fios, great value for money, just under 2.5. So great choice. Light optical factory. So that factory is making some of the, probably most of these scopes on the table nearly. Being, I think the Vortex comes out of it, the fios. Well, yeah, two of the scopes are out of that factory. So yeah, really good factory, makes some of the best optics in the world. We then go on to Vortex Razor. This, in that review I just mentioned, the 419 review, this Vortex Razor really performed well. And having shot one of these, I can say optics are brilliant. Really bright and white image, decent field of view, and value for money. It's a good combination of being able to step up with even like your Tangent Thetas, which are £7,000, and still perform extremely well. So this is a heavy hitter. This is around 3,300, so very expensive still, but you get the Vortex warranty and you get some extremely good optics. Japanese made again, 6-36. The zoom, the magnification ring, slightly different to the other two, which have gone for a bit more of a knurled finish and a bit easier to grip. This is slightly smoother. Preferably, I prefer a bit more knurling, especially if you are going to be using gloves or something with it out in the field. But again, what the trend is big chunky turrets, easy to see, very visual, and Vortex have nailed that in terms of being able to quickly adjust the turrets, being able to then see your adjustments while sitting in that shooting position. Clicks as well are really, really nice. Very positive, solid, and like I said, these are all going to track, so we haven't got an issue in that field. Both windage and elevation are locking, and it's simply pull out, push in. It seems to be the trend. And one thing I haven't mentioned, they all have their own element of a zero stop. You've got a zero click on Schmidt, which allows you to go anywhere between 3 or 2 to 5 clicks underneath your zero, chosen zero. Same with the fios, that's a zero stop system. You have the Vortex Razor style zero stop system, and as we move on, we'll pass over that on the other two. But yeah, this is the Vortex Razor, around £3,300. Vortex's warranty, superb glass, real heavy hitter, great value for money. So yeah, 6 to 36 from Vortex, good value if you're looking for a high powered, anywhere between 35 to 40 times magnification first focal plane. We then get into one of Richard Utton, who is Sharpshooting UK's favourite scopes. He's been a fan favourite of this. So this is a Sightron. As you can see, it's an absolute beast. Previously, 40mm tube scopes were only ever seen on IORs, and that would have been a scope what would have been on the table 4 or 5 years ago. Unfortunately, due to what's going over in Europe at the moment, Romania, where the scopes come out from, they haven't made any commercially for a long time now. So the Crusader was probably the best value for money first focal plane, 5 to 40 on the market, hands down. German shot glass, European manufacture, and optically one of the best out there, and superb value. This took that 40mm tube and made it better, because you were getting out of the 40mm tube now. This is giving you from Sightron, who manufacture scopes in their own factory in Japan, out of the Kenko factory. They are providing 40 mils of internal adjustment. So you're talking a scope that has the capabilities with the magnification and the internal adjustment to shoot out to extreme distances. So this is capable of shooting out over 2 miles. I've seen videos and pictures of, like I said, Richard Utton shooting it to those distances and it performing fine. This scope is only 2,500. So I say only because we're talking in the realms of expensive optics now, but superb value for money. So the Sightron, albeit comes with 40mm tube, you do get a pair of rings included in the box, so it just allows you to get mounted straight away. What I recommend with all of these is to move into a spare system, and that just gives you a real high quality precision mount. And then also, obviously you then pair it with your rifle depending on the MOA that you require, etc. So whether you get the MOA in the ring or where you got it in the mount, on the rail itself, on the rifle. So as we were saying, Sightron, 40mm tube, 40 mils of elevation. We've got some caps that just screw in and out. The magnification ring, 5 to 40. We then go to the parallax. We've got a wide parallax range, plenty of movement there, so out to infinity, and it comes down to 10 meters, I think. Somehow they've managed to do it. We've got illumination, we've got a step in between each illumination setting. We've got 11 steps. The turrets, as you can see, follows the trend, big chunky turrets, and they're nice and easy to see, again, out in the field. And they're clearly marked with 0.5 mil markings as well as 4 mil markings, just to remove any confusion, especially from competition points of view. We've got a 0.1 mil rad click. We have 2 reticle choices in this, and we basically follow the trend of a more simple hash mark reticule, and then we then have a Christmas tree style ret. The Sightron in at 2,500 has probably, if you're looking at all these scopes, has probably the less desirable rets. If you're a ret guy, the Sightron is probably the one I would look at. It's probably the LRM. That's the Christmas tree ret, and it just provides a little bit more information. But probably out of even all of them on the table, the Sightron is not the strongest department as the reticules, but they're still really usable rets. The optics, it's got ED glass, top quality coatings, and is absolutely superb. A lot of the guys we've worked with have shot this scope to extreme distances, and it performs superbly well. As I said, these are all top quality scopes. The precision in the engineering, in the clicks and the glass, it's all there. These are just different choices depending on what brand you like and what sort of features you prefer. And finally, we've got the Arken. This is the EP5 7-35. I've just probably bought this in just to show you that for under £700 now, you are able to buy a decent 7-35 by 56. First focal plane, over 30 mils of internal adjustment, decent zero stopped. Obviously follows the trend, big chunky turrets, decent positive clicks. It uses Japanese ED glass, but it's manufactured in China, so they're able to give you that top quality glass but keep the production costs down. But as we know, Chinese products are superb, and at the moment they're just getting better and better. So they're able to keep the costs down but still provide top quality optics. So if you're on a budget, definitely this is the choice to go. But if you're looking to spend a little bit more and want to buy a scope for the next 5 to 10 years, these are the other choices. As I said, you can always look at the Night Force Attackers 7-35, tried and tested. Night Force is probably biggest selling scope. We then look at the Zero Compromise 8-40, Tangent, and the other couple I mentioned at the beginning. But overall, this is sort of our standard stocking optics. We've got a good selection of the Schmidt. We've got the Elements in a couple of reticules. We've got both the MOA and mil versions in the Vortexes, both Sightrons, and we've got MOA and mil in the 7-35s. If you want any further information, just head over to the website, drop us a call. We've got a good team who will be able to advise you depending on what choice you want to go to. And remember guys, like and subscribe to the channel, and we keep the videos coming. Cheers.